Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson Pharaoh, and in today's video we're going to be talking about when can you step out of Wyvern, when have you farmed it enough, or do you need to keep farming it, kind of a thing. So a good gauge or barometer for your account and knowing when you should probably get out of Wyvern and start farming something else is, are you happy with the way that your Wyvern team is running? Do they have the speed sets that you want? And it's your first focus, obviously, because you need to, you want faster runs and more, a higher chance of clearing every time. And after that, I would look into doing Arena. Ruzid is a 3-star, super easy to pick up, and he has one of the easiest specialty changes. I think he does, at least. So just pick him up. It's 8 extra speed for everyone on the team too for Arena, and you can push your combat readiness. And since this is early game, Cleave is fine early game. Ruzid is going to work just fine early game. It doesn't matter. Everyone has. Okay, almost everyone has Arbiter Vildred. I think most people pick him up from the Moonlight Blessing. But if you don't, I assume you have Spectre Tenebria, and if you don't have her, maybe you should consider resetting your Moonlight Blessing, because the next best one I would say is Ruel, and the other two are probably better. Since I have Arbiter, I just picked up Ruel anyway, because I think she's great for Guild War. Super tanky, revives, and so that's good, but I mean, I could just switch for Spectre Tenebria too, and that would be fine. But Arbiter Vildred is most likely going to be your cleave unit for Arena, and then you've got Ruzid for the combat readiness push, and then whatever you want to put on the team from there is fine. If you have an attack buffer, that's cool. You could run like Mercenary Helga if you can't get anything else. Has an AOE attack buff for your team, and that increases effectiveness as well. So his glancing will pretty much always land if you have Mercenary Helga. You could pick anything though. Anything is good. And since you have Furious, you can throw him in the team too, and he's going to be super fast as well because he's gone for Wyvern. And you could put in the increased critical hit chance and then land a decreased defense on something in Arena, and then that's your team. Arbiter is going to take care of whatever is defense broken, and early game, it's unlikely you're going to run into a team that's able to out heal Arbiter. It'd have to be a super tanky team. But yeah, I mean, instead of Furious, if you want to run a decreased defense unit, there aren't too many in the game. There's Lulika, there's Ran. There's some other ones too. I don't know that I have any other ones though. I do. I have actually I have Champion Zaratu. So if you get lucky and pull him, he does decreased defense and decreased attack. So he's super good for Arena. But yeah, just the next thing I would do is make sure your Arena team is good to go, and they're, other than Arbiter, you might just use one of the free sets for him. Other than Arbiter, they're all going to be basically in speed sets. You want your decreased defense, whether it's Ran or whoever. Even if you even have it, you don't have to have it. Definitely bring an attack buff though if you don't have a decreased defense, to increase the damage, make the fight go faster. So when you've got your team built there, the next thing I would look into is, do you have, if you've got like one or two other units you want to build for Arena as well, I would continue to stay in Wyvern for that reason, to get the extra speed sets for PvP. And then at that point, if you have the units you need to make a Banshee one-shot team, you can do that. That's going to be pretty hard. I don't know if that's even possible. I know that you can, if you get super lucky with the free attack set you get at the beginning, the level 75 attack set, you can use some of those pieces to make an attack set and like a crit set or something to bring into Banshee. but I think you have to have Bikin or Eufine to make that work. I don't know if any of the other ones hit that hard. So realistically, you're going to be looking at going to Asmonak Hunt. This is great for, I mean, all three are great. Rage, Immunity, Unity. Unity increases your chance to dual attack, and then, Rage, you deal extra damage based on debuffs on the enemy. I think that's how that one works. I hope so. And then Immunity, just pretty simple, you have Immunity. Rage is kind of the standard set you run on your one-shot units, so getting into Asmonak is probably the better choice. It's easier anyway than Banshee. The game gives you free units. I'm actually going into Asmonak next, but I can show you guys the team here I'm intending to run. I'm running Charles. He's got the attack buff, a strip, and a decrease attack. And then I'm going to be running Raz. I'm going to make Adventurer Raz, and then he's going to have I think this skill gets a decreased defense, and yeah, I think this skill gets a decreased defense. So that'll be pretty fun. I should have attack down and then defense down on the boss, and then that's an extra strip as well on his skill 1. So you've got 2 strippers, and then I'll be running Vildred, normal Vildred. So pretty simple. He doesn't have any debuffs. It won't conflict with the boss at all, getting too many debuffs on. And then the last one is Angelic Montmorency, which is down here. So pretty simple here, just cleansing all the debuffs off of your team, keeping your team up and fully healed. So yeah, you don't have to run Charles either. So what did I say? I said Raz, Vildred, and Angelic Montmorency. You can bring Arbiter Vildred instead here, and then just bring another unit that strips. If you get Lulica, you can put her on Layla's or Isla's violin, the violin artifact. You can do that to bring the extra defense break and strip potential. I want to look at maybe more free-to-play units. Rin is really good. If you guys pull Rin, this skill here is pretty nice. Decreases defense before a 50% chance to use Ring Throw, and then this one dispels buffs as well, with I guess just a 75% chance, and increases her combat readiness. So Rin is really, really good for Asmonak, and this is just an extra. Your team just gets extra buffs. Other strippers, I can't think of too many other ones. I didn't think she did. There's some 3-stars that do it. Clury does it even. Clury, when you make Falconer Clury, she can strip a buff and put a decreased defense on. So even Clury will work. So you could have an all 3 stars and then Arbiter Vildred, and that would work fine for that. So yeah, and then obviously you need to farm Wyvern to make that team work as well. So that's an extra. Arbiter probably already has a set, but that's an extra Raz, Angelic Montmorency, and then whatever your third one is. So that's 3 extra sets. So I would say the time when you can get out of Wyvern is when you've got probably 10 solid speed sets, because that sets you up going into all of the other content in the game. That'll set you up good for Abyss here, just getting higher up, doing all of the hunts you can do. Banshee is, you don't want to waste a ton of time in Banshee. You kind of just want a one-shot, or you don't want to do it at all. You can do it to get the counter sets earlier on is fine. It's not that big of a deal. Like whatever you guys find to be a better use of your time. If you'd rather do a 5 to 6 minute run in Banshee than a 2 to 3 minute run in Wyvern, because you just want the counter set more, and I kind of figure people are in here for that. Lifesteal is okay. Destruction is okay, but counter set is really what I figure most people are in here for. Because, I mean, basically every dungeon has something to do with some sort of damage set, so destruction is really nothing special, and lifesteal is... You have to have really good lifesteal gear to make it sense to have lifesteal gear. Because you can throw that stuff on, and then you're not doing enough damage, or your survivability isn't high enough, or you're not fast enough. I mean, you can get... you're losing a lot of different options you can have: extra speed, extra attack, crit damage, whatever, by picking up lifesteal. But it can be good. So yeah, I'd say 10 sets. I'd say 10 sets of speed specifically would be good, because you figure that's going to be, for basically any Soul Weaver you have needs speed, other than Angelica, or whatever your tank is for Wyvern. So basically Angelica or General Purgus, they don't need speed. But I mean, everything else does. Clarissa, Alexa, if you have Cigarette, you're probably putting Cigarette on speed, or you're putting her on this set. I mean, just everything. Literally everything can run on speed set in the game. Yeah, between 2 and 3 of your units on Wyvern are going to be running it. You're going to need it for whatever your Asmonak team is. You should have speed on. And maybe 1 attack set on your attacker is fine. That totally works. You need speed sets on your arena units. You need speed sets on, yeah, I mean, you got 4 people in your arena team. You need 3 on speed. Realistically, you need 2 on your Wyvern team here, so you've got 5 sets there. And then whatever you need for Asmonak, or whatever you decide to go into next, you're going to need, depending on how many units you can reuse, which probably isn't going to be too many, is going to be probably 3 more sets. So what is that, 8? 8 sets. And then just picking up 2 extra sets is nice, because then you have it for later on whenever you want to build something else. So if I wanted to build Maid Chloe for PvP, which I do, I would have the speed sets ready to go for her. And she brings increased attack on her 3rd skill when you awaken her. Well, anything. The collab units makes sense. Like, literally anything in the game can run on speed. So just having 2 more for arena. We'll say that's the extra 2 arena units, is just extra speed sets. So yeah, I would say when you've got that, you're good to go. You got 10 speed sets. Currently, I've got like 4. I'm like halfway. I think I have 4 sets. Crafting. I've got almost 5,000 here, so I'll open a couple of these. See what I get. Yeah, it's always interesting opening these up too, because sometimes you get something with super good substats, and it just doesn't, the main stat is flat, or sometimes you get a good main stat on the set you want and the subs are bad. Like, I can't spot anything in here that's actually good. Maybe you could use this on a tank. I don't know. I think it's all bad. You get a lot of that in here, though. You get a lot of that just doing the runs. So here, if this rolls, what is it, max speed 5? Max speed is 4 or 5. If this gets to 11 or 13 speed, this is actually going onto Clarissa or Alexa. Probably Alexa. This is potentially decent too. You got speed, crit rate, attack. They're all reasonably high. The speed is a little low, but I mean, you're 1 off max attack and crit rate. Health, they can go on something. What else here? This is also legendary. A little worse off, but I mean, it's legendary with speed on it, so it's got the chance to get to something pretty decent. Yeah, so there's a couple good ones in there. It's hard for me to say whether it's better to just use this stuff to feed into each other, the good ones, or to get the cores from these ones. They well, you probably want to do speed set, but the epic and heroic stuff, the epic and heroic level, just getting cores out of them, or just selling. I don't know. I typically feed a bunch of stuff into each other. This looks decent too. This looks really good for Wyvern, actually. If it rolls just speed and crit damage, this is a great ring for Wyvern. That's a little unfortunate. Anything else? Effectiveness with crit rate and crit damage, that's okay. Could be used on something, maybe. I'll do one more here. I mean, just craft whatever you need to as well. You don't have to, like, you're gonna build up a bunch of this stuff over time anyway. This is kind of interesting too. I look at this stuff and, like, it's like it would obviously be better if it was an attack main stat, because it's actually a one off of max rolls. If 5% crit chance is the max roll, so these are basically max rolls. If this was attack, it'd be insane for an attacker. But I could use this for, at this point, a tank. Like, this becomes a tank thing that you want damage on. You know, if I ever actually put it on anything, that's a different story. So I look at all this stuff and I'm like, you know, this could be really good for this, or this could be really good for this, or I want to use this here, and then my box gets so filled up with stuff. And okay. That's maybe not so good. That's rough. That's really unfortunate. Speed and just about any other substats. So I don't think I got anything good there. Okay, crit damage with crit chance and effectiveness. Not everything has to have speed on it either. Like for damage dealers, or even in arena, like not everything has to have speed if you have a speed set and you're early enough onto the game. Later on, you need speed on literally everything, but like this is a perfectly usable piece for something. Any attacker you want to land debuffs, so this could go on Ran. He's doing damage, crit chance, he's landing the defense break, like this could be perfect for him. I think I'm doing one more. Yeah, and then I'll do probably boots or something. This is like so many of these. I think I just got like one good piece. Oh wait, yeah, that's unfortunate. I'll just pick something else up here. Anything good here? Probably not. I wouldn't go for anything crit chance. You're just losing way too much damage potential with crit damage, or just flat out, I mean, a Soul Weaver or a tank just needs something else. So when you get this stuff, I wouldn't spend any time with it, even early game. Don't waste any time putting this stuff on your units. You'll find a different way to get crit chance. And then boots. We'll do a thing of boots here. And basically, all you want on boots are speed. I got that here, but the substats aren't great. It's not on a speed set, so it's probably a toss. When you look at attack boots, you need, if you're going to take attack boots on something over speed boots, which you're only obviously going to do that on attackers, but even on attackers, you probably want speed most of the time. But if it has crit damage, crit rate, speed, and health or defense percent or effectiveness, like in that fourth slot, then it's really good. If it's an epic, if it's a heroic, it needs to have crit damage, speed, and crit rate. You need to have those three stats to mitigate the loss of the speed, because if you're going to run attack boots, it's because there's just so many stats on it that you need. So yeah, I think that's all for this video. Just And with auto run in the game now, it shouldn't be that hard for most people to get a ton of those. I mean, I am constantly wanting to look at heroes, like think about different team compositions, do different things, and like when I'm able to just, the best thing I can do for myself most of the time is just walking away from the phone and letting it auto run, because otherwise I want to sit there and watch and then try to fix it, even though I know that like resistance just happens. It is what it is when you have the units you have. But it's just like, I just want to fix the stuff. I want to get the stuff. I like progressing. But yeah, just if you're like me and you have an issue just not looking at all of your stuff all the time, just set your phone on or your computer on and auto run it, and try to do and think about anything else, so that you are actually progressing, because you need to clear the waves to progress. But yeah, and everyone ends up back in Wyvern at the end of the game anyway, so don't feel rushed to get into Asmonak or Banshee or getting your PvP team together. Just it's the beginning of the game. Just, try to enjoy it. It's much more enjoyable getting out of it. In my experience, I like going through and completing all these different things, but it's super important to get the sets right off the bat, because that'll set you up for the rest of the game. If you can get 10 solid speed sets, like I said, you will be set. You'll get through Abyss, you'll get through Raid, fine. You'll get through PvP is going to be good for you. Any other teams you need to build, you should only need to swap 1 to 2 sets around. If you go for Golem or Cades or whatever, if you need to switch speed sets, like you'll be in a good place. And then eventually, like I said, you get the counter sets you want, the rage sets you want, all these different things that you want, immunity sets. You're going to come back to Wyvern for speed anyway, so it's good to get it out of the way, some of it to begin with. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.